back to the end of another week. We're out in the yard again, and out here you can see that they've plowed the fields. So things are coming. I'll throw in some video of them because they were out really late at like 9 o'clock at night doing that. Over here you can see that I've jerry-rigged some wood up because ultimately this is the area that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about like flattening it out, putting some cardboard, putting some mulch. Right now there's a bunch of gravel in here, and I'm waiting for my containers to show up. And my plan is that it'll have containers pretty much all the way along here for like things like ginger and turmeric and stuff that does okay in shade. Right now the sun is like way over there, and it's like, I think it's 6:30 in the evening. So this area finally has some sun, but yeah, it pretty much only gets sun at the very, very, very end of the day, and throughout the day it's totally shady there. So I think the ginger will like it better. My apple flower bit the dust, so it is no more an apple flower. If I zoom in, it's just the remnants of what was there. And unfortunately that means that there's probably no fruit, because its companion apple over here that's supposed to be doing the cross-pollination doesn't have any flowers. So yeah, one of the downsides to having fruit trees and fruit bushes and stuff is that if they need pollinators, if they're not both blooming at the same time, you're not going to get any fruit. So I'm not expecting anything from that. The cornfield here has not been plowed, so at some point they will plow it, because that's been happening. However, over here, I captured some low-lying fruit myself and mulched around my hydrangea. And I actually ordered myself a bunch of these daylilies online from somebody, from a private individual who has a bunch in their yard. And I got those planted there, and I have some more planted elsewhere. Haven't been working on the orchard path because I've been working on other things. But if I come up here, I've also gone ahead and I planted some more daylilies along there. You can see that the gophers are digging up my mulch. Over here, my little greenhouse finally showed up. I actually ordered that weeks ago, and the original one that came was the wrong one, so I had to return it, and then they finally sent the correct one. So of course now it's too late in the season to really use it, but at least I have it. And then over here is my keyhole garden that I was working on, and if I get out of the way, the rest of the daylilies I've gone ahead and planted there. I do still have my little tea tree in here, and this whole area I've decided is going to be for flowers. So over time I'll go ahead and keep buying bulbs and flowers, and eventually all of this, well, this area I'll keep going that way, but this area will all be flowers, and this area will still be my honeyberries, which have not arrived yet. And I also plan on putting some honeyberries over here, so I'll have some honeyberries over here and some honeyberries over here, and those are also small fruits that need each other to pollinate, so they'll be close enough together that they'll pollinate each other. So that's awesome. And they look and taste like blueberries, but they don't need acid soil. So that is fantastic. What else? Not much else is happening. I did put the shade cloth on the chicken run. And I think I mentioned last week that I was getting this thing to secure the chicken run. So that's worked out really well. If I come in here, there's like the little thing, and it goes down and locks in place. And this up here, if I actually close it the right way, also locks in place. So the chicken run is done for the most part, or at least enough. It's enough done for me to get chickens. I've added. I mentioned weeks and weeks and weeks ago that like way down here, I've added some hardware cloth because I was concerned. If I get this, I was concerned that a creature could actually pop up the floor here. So now it's been secure. And if I come in here, this fancy thing like locks completely. But yeah, so I have my little nest box, and now I don't have to worry about a creature coming up from below and ruining any of the eggs. And this chicken coop actually came with some really nice things that like lock into place. And then over here, I added a little knobby because this is another one of the, like it's a locking. So you actually have to pull it this way and then lift it up and then push it down, and then you can open it up. So yeah, I've added a little knobby, and my my little thermometers, I think eventually will get mounted here. But yeah, and inside, I've shown you all that before, but yeah, this all locks into place, but I have a nice little knob now to open and close it. I am still planning on eventually opening up this wider and putting in a ventilation fan, and also doing the same thing on this other side because there isn't any ventilation on this side. So literally the only upper ventilation is that back hole. But I don't think I need it now because it's not warm enough. However, come summertime, that will definitely be a priority to get done. And I think that'll be another thing where we'll have another like solar panel with a wire, and it'll be hooked to like some sort of double extraction thing where fresh air is like pulled in from this side and then pushed out from that side, so that it's all kind of circular. So that's to come. I did find a farm about 40 minutes away who has 5 to 6 month old chickens who are basically just at the point of laying eggs. So we're gonna get chickens from them. Got more mulch that was delivered, so I can definitely work on the orchard path and my ginger alley. And sooner rather than later, I really need to shake a leg and figure out what I'm going to do with my planting of the winter squash. So my options are either creating some sort of pallet enclosure, filling it with a combination of that horse poop and straw and some compost and planting in that, or I can put like 4 of these straw bales over here and then spend 10 to 14 days prepping them for planting, basically putting a bunch of nitrogen fertilizer in them and then balanced fertilizer, and then I'll be able to plant directly into the straw bales and putting them there. or doing something where I get like some more of these containers, or the containers that are coming in from the ginger, and I just throw those down, put some holes in them, put some compost in them, and plant the squash. But I need to make a decision as to what I'm doing there, because it's springtime and it's time to plant the squash, and or the winter squash, and I don't want to plant them in the garden like I did last year. I haven't harvested my rhubarb. I did cut the flower down, but that's about it. So I still need to harvest the rhubarb. I did plant, actually a couple weeks ago, some of my remnant onion sets, just because. So these were the onion sets that I planted in the fall, and I massively over ordered. So I had a bunch of onion sets left over, which I decided to go ahead and plant in here just to see what happens. So they're growing just fine. If I kind of pan around, there's definitely like onion tips really all over. Like there's onion tips here and over there. So we'll see what happens with that. I also planted some seeds, some onion seeds along there. So we'll see what happens there. My mother-in-law got me some bush beans, some green bush beans. So I'll plant some green bush beans in my legume bed. And actually, if I go over to my legume bed, I noticed that some of the fava beans were coming in. So if I come down here, you can see that's a fava bean. There's a lot of there's a lot of wheatgrass growing in this hay, because it still had a lot of seeds in it, which is unfortunate because I didn't want that. But it's not that bad, actually, because wheatgrass tastes delightful. I love eating wheatgrass. But that's a fava bean. There's another fava bean over there. So I did kind of go through and remove the mulch around the beans that I found. And this week too, I'll keep going through and just kind of like exposing those beans so I know that they're there. And then I'll go through and I want to plant the bush beans that my mother-in-law gave me. And I'm the green bush beans, and I'm also planning on getting yellow bush beans and purple bush beans. And so those will all get planted in this area. This is the brassica bed, which has been covered for the bugs, because I saw the white butterflies, the cabbage moths, the other week. So they're growing in really well. And I also have down in my seed alley some purple flowering broccoli and some more. I think I have some more cabbages and stuff, which will eventually go in here. And I did also plant, I planted some beet seeds around here, which hopefully will eventually grow in. And I think this week I'm going to start planting a lot more seeds, like directly in the garden. So this bed is basically full. I could potentially grow some things here, except for I'm waiting to see if my physalis comes back. The parsley over here is looking pretty bad, like it's super yellow. And some of it's actually going to flower. So I'm gonna let some of them go to flower so that I can collect seeds and feed the pollinators. But I need to get some more parsley going. I did notice some rust starting. So that's rust, which is like a fungal thing. So I need to get out here and, oh yeah, because look at this. That's also rust. So I need to get out here and spray with the copper fungicide, and try to save my, last year I had a lot of rust as well, but it just doesn't look very good. So I want to get out here and spray with copper fungicide. I'll have to spray my garlic, my onions, and my chives. A couple weeks ago, I had to completely cut down the chives because they got rust. They got rust so bad that they were like orange. So now you can see that, well, that's not rust. But here, like down here, this whole thing is all rust. So again, so that's all fungus. So that's my priority this week, is getting out with the copper fungicide and spraying the crap out of the chives, and then preventatively the onions, because I haven't seen any rust on the onions, but then also spraying all of the garlic and all of the shallots. And then actually also spraying my fig tree, because my fig tree is historically known for getting rust as well. But I came over here to show you the parsley, because on this side it doesn't look too bad, but on that side it's looking pretty bad, and it is going to flower. So I'm going to go ahead and probably let some of this flower, but then a lot of this I think is going to get cut out, and we'll probably start over. I'll plant some more seeds here, because these are kind of going to flower. But I still have some parsley like in the pots out there, and I need to plant some more parsley. So we'll see what happens there. And then my oregano is going wild. I actually need to, yeah, this is going crazy. I need to cut this down and yeah, probably propagate this, because it's starting to grow up. It was quite dense and compact, but now it's getting big. And then I think I showed you all my perpetual kale, which might be coming back. This one seems to be coming back. I got these cages the other week to protect them from whatever was chomping on them. So this one looks good. That one looks great again. Some of the other ones, like that one might be dead. Not sure. This one has some green coming back, so that might survive. And this one is green, barely. But you can see it right in the center there, but there's no leaves on it. So at the very least, I have this one with leaves, and I have that one over there with leaves, but the other three I'm not sure about. And then I've already lost 2 of them. So I may reach out to the guy in Ireland that I got these from and buy some more starts and try again, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, so I think this week what I'm working on is I'll probably keep working on the thing there. I'll work on the ginger thing on the south side of the house. We may or may not get chickens next weekend. I've reached out to the farm that has the chickens, but I haven't heard back. But actually getting chickens is definitely high on the to-do list. So very soon I should be showing off some chickens. I think I will get around to planting at least the peppers out here. I think I lost a bunch of my aubergines. I was a little too optimistic with getting them outside, and I think most of them got damaged. So right now I'm kind of assessing my plants and seeing how they are, and I'll probably buy some backups from the store so that I at least have stuff growing. Every year I kind of have a combination of stuff that I grow myself and stuff that I get from the store, because ultimately I'm still a beginner and I'm still figuring things out, and I'd rather have a nice garden than rely completely on stuff that I make myself. So in the meantime, I need to think about harvesting some of my mint and getting it dried. I need to harvest my rhubarb and figure out something with this. Francis and I still need to work on the rest of the chicken area, but I think that's it for this week. So I will leave you with that, and I'll see you next week. Bye.